Welcome back to Third Take, and been teasing this for a little bit. This is the first of a 3-round mock draft. I think maybe 2 and 3 might be in 2 separate videos, or they might just be in 1 separate video. But this is the first round. Last mock we did was back in December, so a lot has changed considering it's March.
We're on spring break now, boys.
You've had Shrine Bowl, you've had Combine, you've had Senior
Bowl.
Bowl. So now it's full draft season.
We're in draft season.
So last time we checked in, I was at exactly 32 players. I don't know what Martin was at.
Probably like 36.
And
or
now,
so, I don't know.
at least for me, I'm at 99, and Martin is around
It's
120.
like 115, 120. I was counting. I lost track multiple times, but it's well over enough to make these picks.
So we're locked and ready to go. And first pick hasn't changed. We have a finalized draft order this time, so that's
always
a
good.
plus. Top 3 I don't think changed. So, but we're gonna start it off number 1 with the Chicago Bears.
At first pick, Chicago Bears. We're going QB here, and we're going with Drake May. This is me and Joe's QB1. You see him QB6 sometimes, but it's the wave to hate on him right now. I think it's just prospect fatigue at this point. Been hearing about him for a while, and everyone's nitpicking and finding the most problems they can with his game. I think he's got an absolute cannon for an arm. I think he reads defenses well. I think he's pretty accurate. Sometimes it is a little spotty. I'll give the critics that. But he's tough as hell. He can take a hit. He had limited help at North Carolina. Tez Walker was suspended for half the season. And if you ask me, isn't really even a good receiver. But we'll get to him in
2 weeks? I don't know.
Whenever we get to him.
Whoever.
But
maybe in a second video.
I think he makes consistent throws to the boundary and outside the numbers, which is, NFL throws that you're looking for to evaluate. It's pretty hard to find those throws on some other guys' tapes. JJ McCarthy. But I just think Drake May is very solid. I think he has super high upside. I think he's ready to go right now. I really hope he falls to 3 to the Pats. I don't think he will, though. I think
this is all just
I think it's smoke and mirrors,
smoke.
and he's going number 2 to Washington. But he's got a good deep ball, too. He does miss his deep ball a little bit. I don't think he is the best deep ball out of this class, but it is still good in my opinion. He can change his arm angle just like Caleb does, and he's more consistent than Caleb in my opinion. And I think he just looks like Justin Herbert. And if you're telling me you wouldn't take Justin Herbert number 1 overall, come on. We're all doing that. We're all doing that. And, you might think Caleb is Mahomes, but I would disagree.
I think he's more
with that
Anthony
statement.
Richardson than he is Mahomes.
But yeah, I think Drake throws well over the middle. I think he can make all the NFL throws that you need him to. And I think Drake May's a stud, and I'm still all in on him at number 1.
At number 2, I'm going to have the Washington Commanders starting their franchise with Caleb Williams. I've made a whole 11, 12, I forget how many minute video on character concerns and why he's not a generational quarterback. So I'll gloss over it. Listen, his dad, obviously not a great guy for him, saying he wants a special contract and wants part ownership of a team. So probably not the best to keep him around as like your manager. So, crying, making fun of Max Duggan for crying, then going and crying in the stands. Not a good look.
Not ideal.
Painting his nails, some people down south will get real riled up. But, let's go over the actual player. Has a bazooka for an arm. The ability to extend the play is amazing. Like, it's Mahomey. Like, it's the only,
I didn't mention that with Drake May.
It's the only way you kind of can mention it.
Drake May can do that too. I forgot to mention that for him. He's sick at extending.
Scrambling
plays.
ability is really good. Not as good as he was advertised. I was advertised as Lamar Jackson level scrambling ability. It's not like that. It's I don't know what it. Jaden Daniels is more like Lamar Jackson scrambling ability, but he's a very mobile quarterback. He could break off a 50-yard run. Great arm angles. Deep ball accuracy is really good. He does overthrow some balls where he'll just put too much zip on it, and I think that's where he struggles the most is the simple plays. Out of structure when he's running to the sideline, he's a throw it behind his back, like left-handed, sure, he can make that play. He can't hit a 5-yard slant, though. On an RPO, like, I saw that multiple times where they play faked it, he has to bring it up and throw it, and he just misses his guy.
Hey, Joe, you know who can hit a 5-yard RPO?
Michael Pratt.
No, J.J. McCarthy. That's
JJ.
why he's going third.
Please, no. Great playmaker, obviously. I see him miss a lot of reads. You remember I went over his missed reads, and I think a lot of people have been shitting on Drake May for this, but won't talk about it with Caleb, is creating his own pressure. Just kind of... Drake May might drift into pressure, is a clip I saw, but Caleb Williams will legit run up his O-lineman's ass into pressure. Like, he'll scramble when he doesn't need to scramble. He almost, like, the old folks will say, hearing the footsteps coming around the edge, and he'll panic.
Playing O-line for him must be one of the most annoying
I would say
ever.
more annoying is being Lincoln Riley.
Well, that too.
And just being like, hey, man, that's not the play I wrote for you.
Yeah. If I was him, I wouldn't call a play.
Exactly. Just all right, man, go do it.
Do you?
Doesn't wait for the play to develop. Like, kind of just, like I said, he's kind of a first read merchant. As some people would say, just if it's not there, he gets happy feet and rolls out. Like I said, makes some of the most nuts throws you'll see. You'll see him, like, going off to the sideline, throwing it across the field. Like, he'll make those plays, but then, like I said, he struggles with, like, outs, slants, ins, like, digs. Like, he'll struggle with those type of plays when he doesn't have all the time in the world. And that's another thing. Now, you don't get the explosive plays without him scrambling around in the backfield. But listen, it's a whole different beast when it's for 8 to 10 seconds. It's egregious amount of time. In the NFL, your O-line's going to get pissed at you for running around like there's no tomorrow instead of staying in the pocket and just making reads, going to your second or third read. It's just he doesn't play in structure well, which is the reason we have Drake May at number 1, is because they play very similar outside structure, but in structure, Caleb just kind of sucks at it. He just can't make an easy read.
I think part of it too is he doesn't want to. Like, he turns. It's so like
he plays a lot of hero ball.
He turns like a clean pocket into backyard football. You can do all the Mahomes stuff, and that's great. But you only do it when you have to, and that's what makes Mahomes so good, is he can do it. But he's also the best quarterback in the league. He can be a
surgeon too.
Yeah,
like
he'll dice you up from the pocket, and we'll get to some other quarterbacks, but. Like, there's some that will dice you up from the pocket, but can't do anything after that, like Michael Penix. So Drake May's the complete package. That's why he's 1. But Caleb is better at extending versus in structure, which is more valuable, but you still want the other one.
So yeah, Caleb Williams, by the way, if you want 6'1", 215. So yeah, Caleb goes back home to Washington.
Pick 3, we got our New England Patriots. I'm taking Jaden Daniels from LSU. This is my guy. He's my favorite quarterback. I'm not saying he's the best, but he's not. But he's 100% my favorite. He's 6'4", 210, very mobile. This guy, I mean, you got to just start with the athleticism. The best rushing quarterback since Lamar, easily, coming out of the draft. I mean, Richardson was legit. Fields wasn't the crazy rusher he is in the NFL and college, so you can't really count that. 1,200 yards rushing. I forget 12 touchdowns, something like that. He's got like I hate to bring up stats, but with him, it's so ridiculous that it's fair. Like, he has like a 57 to 5 touchdown to interception ratio. It's wild. He takes great care of the football, which is exactly what you want. He's an elite rushing threat. He doesn't have an elite arm, but he has a good arm. I think he's a good decision maker. I think the only thing is I want him to use the middle of the field more than he actually does. But he's good at throwing to the boundary, and I think part of that is just you have Brian Thomas Jr. and Malik Neighbors, so why throw over the middle when you can throw a fade to him?
Why throw to your white tight end over the middle?
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's more of the offense than like, oh, Jaden Daniels can't throw over the middle. Obviously, he's a huge part of the run game. There's a little bit of inaccuracy stuff, but I do think he has really good touch on his throws, and he's accurate. He does hold the ball for too long and take sacks. It's not Caleb bad, but it does happen. I think he can extend plays well with that, but you just want to see him get it under control. And it's a tough balancing act with all the quarterbacks of extending the play and, getting sacked. You can't have one without the other, but you just want them to try their best to minimize it and learn, and Jaden has to do that just like they do, although I don't think it's as bad. And he's such an elite runner that he can just get out of it even if he messes up. For a comp for him, I think he's kind of just Kyler Murray, but not short. So that's Kyler's a good quarterback. Me and Joe have bagged on him in the past, but that was mostly about the film stuff. A taller Kyler who actually watches film is a pretty damn good quarterback, and I think that's what Jaden is, and I really hope the Pats draft him in April because I love this dude and I want him to be my QB.
At number 4, I'm going to go with Marvin Harrison Jr., the generational, I would say one of 2 generational players in this class. The other one hasn't been picked yet.
I would argue that they can't be generational since there's 2 of them.
No.
But they're both disgusting.
But Marvin Harrison Jr., you've been hearing about him for 3 years, kind of like Brock Bowers coming out of Georgia. But Marvin Harrison, he looks like prime AJ Green. People will be like, no, that's too low of a comp. And then people forget what prime AJ Green was like.
Yeah.
Marv has amazing feet. Like, his body control is absurd. 50-50 balls are like 70-30. He's 6'4", 205. He's a giant. Jaden Daniels is 6'4", 210 at quarterback. So, can make catches through contact. Really strong hands. Like, disgusting, like Devontae Adams release. Different release packages every time.
I've seen him compared to Adams a good amount, too.
He's physical in the run game, which people be like, I don't want him to be. I don't want him to get hurt. That's a big thing I look for to make sure you're not a bitch. You're not scared
100%.
to go out and go fucking block a 166-pound DB. Like, you're going to be fine. Like, you might jam a finger, but, like, you're going to be fine.
Nate Wiggins isn't going to hurt you.
Yeah. Double moves, they're nuts. Like, everyone will bite for him. Route running is gross. Like, basically everything you want in a wide receiver, he's disgusting at. I'm pretty sure it's like, he didn't run at the 40. We'll see him at Ohio State, I guess. But I've heard like high 4.3s, low 4.4s. That's what I've heard. Acrobatic catches, so he jump balls, like diving catches. His catch radius is disgusting. He moves really well out in space. Like, for a bigger receiver, he does move out in space like very well. Like, he's pretty shifty. I mentioned the body control. Hops are great. Ball tracking, the Ohio State receivers and their ball tracking, it's disgusting. I don't know, really, there's nothing negative I can really say about Marvin Harrison Jr. It's just kind of like, it's almost boring to talk about him because it's just like, yeah, great, disgusting, great, disgusting. He's a generational prospect. He's nuts. You're getting, in my opinion, a sure thing. And honestly, I heard somebody say it, and I completely agree with them. If he goes to Arizona, Kyler Murray is targeting that fucker 160 times his
fair.
Rookie year.
Yeah.
I would not be shocked.
We haven't made our big boards yet. We've both. Marv's number 1 on both of ours. He's insane.
So, like he's gonna legit. I wouldn't. You tell me he breaks the rookie receiving record next year, I'm not surprised at all. Because the amount of volume he's gonna get, and just how good he is coming out, he's gonna be disgusting. So Marv at 4 to replace probably Hollywood, because I don't think he's coming back.
5, we got the Chargers. I'm going receiver 2, and I'm going with the guy that is barely worse.
Barely.
As good as Marv is, there's not too much. There's barely a drop off between him and Malik Neighbors from LSU.
Like they say, Malik Neighbors' one weakness is that he's in the same draft class as Marvin Harrison.
This guy, the only classes he's not wide receiver 1 in is this and the Jamar Chase one, and you could make an argument that he's better than Chase. I would lean Chase, but it's close. He's 6', 200. When I first watched this guy play, I swear to God, I thought he was like 6'3".
Yeah, no, I thought he was big.
He plays big. He weighs a good amount. He's big. But he plays so much bigger than his size. A lot of jump balls for his size. He's a big-time deep threat. That's what he does. He just beats up corners on fades over and over again on tape. He's really good after the catch. That's the other big thing, is his yak ability is amazing. He's a really good route runner. He wins all over the field, middle, deep, short, it doesn't matter. You can give this guy a drag. He's going to take it to the house because of his yak ability. He can burn you over the top. He's probably in the 4.3s, I would say, when he runs.
Like I said, I think he's faster than Brian Thomas, and Brian Thomas ran a 3.4. So you do the math there. I think I legit think he's very like if he. I would put he on film was much faster than Brian Thomas. So
Brian Thomas is bigger too.
Yeah.
That's
so
part of
I'm taking like a 4.2 speed.
You're taking like 4.28 or something. Yeah, that's a fair answer.
Worthy.
Yeah. But he's got really good body control too. Malik Neighbors he's so good. Like it's just like Marv where I don't have any negatives. Like I could sit here for a while longer and tell you how good he is, but
I could sit here for like 5 hours.
Yeah, you could. I bet you could spend a while, but Malik Neighbors is disgusting. Him and Keenan Allen is going to be awesome. With this, you can kind of just pretend that you didn't draft Quentin Johnston, and that's good. You know, you got Malik now.
Yeah, you can.
And
Okay, at 6, the New York Giants here. It's between two guys, Joe Alt and Rome Odunze. You need to inject some life into that offense. Daniel Jones is probably going to be there another year unless you take a Bo Nix. Tommy Cutlets, yeah. But yeah, Rome Odunze, you need talent. You need talent inside that New York Jets offense. He's 6'3", 216. He's ideal X receiver height, amazing speed, shifty in the open field, disgusting jump ball skills. Like he said, it was 100-0 him.
He's not far off.
I believe him.
I believe
You know what? That guy was just like, he asked him, "Did you land an airplane?" And he was like, "No." And it's just like, "No, I need my wide receiver to have delusional."
Yeah. He does have delusional.
He has delusional, which I love. But he's also not wrong.
Not that far
I don't think I've seen him lose a jump ball watching film.
No. He looks like D-Hop.
Yeah,
like
no,
Brett
he
Coleman
does,
made that comment.
He looks like D-Hop.
Yeah.
Amazing deep threat. Great catches through contact. Just an absurd catch radius. Great hands. He's a really good route runner for his size. I wouldn't say that's like a big strength of his, but he's pretty good at it. Jump balls, like I said, 100-0, but I'd put it at like 80-20. Like he's coming down with this. I would say you want to see him work over like the middle of the field a little bit more. That's about it. But you know, when you can chuck it up 50 yards and he can come down with it, it's like Most in Madden 20. Like you can chuck it down the field. Oh, it can take this drag, or it can chuck it down the field and he can catch it. Like he's disgustingly good. And you hear about him being wide receiver 3. It's almost a crime to have him at wide receiver 3. He's like wide receiver 1 every year except 2021. Like that's legit. I take him over like Garrett Wilson, Olave. Like he's wide receiver 1 every other year. Like it's a shame he's at 3 this year, but
he's still gonna go really high though, so it's fine.
He's great in run blocking, so you know he's physical. Nuts ball tracking, catch radius is disgusting. Like these 3 receivers, it's just like they're fucking gross. There's nothing else I can say. There's not a lot of negatives. I would say Rome has like the most.
He's like the most. It's just he's not like good after the catch.
Yeah, but like
that
wasn't what they.
But like, do you care?
No,
like,
because that's not what they. That's not what they asked him to do. They didn't ask him to be a 15-yard guy. They're like, here's 25 yards down the field, towards the sideline, jump ball catch, get 1 foot in. Rome Odunze, I love him. Like I said, Brett Coleman made a video just showing off, like, low-key, like, Michael Penix inaccuracies and Rome kind of fucking bailing him out sometimes. But, yeah, you need a guy that's not a slot receiver in New York. You need a legit one. Yeah. Jalen Hyatt's not that.
Wandale,
yeah, Jalen Hyatt's not that. So yeah, Rome Odunze get some life in that offense for Tommy Cutlets.
We got the Titans at 7. This is their dream scenario, and it's Joe Alt. I mean, I've never seen a tackle not mock to them, and I mean, I'm doing the same thing because God, do they need it. But Joe Alt is, I mean, he's my tackle 1 by far. He's disgusting. You know, I mean, a Notre Dame fan, but there's no bias here. He's insane. He's the 4th best tackle I've ever watched in 5 years doing this now. He consistently gets movement off the line of scrimmage, turns and seals guys very well. He's just really good run blocker. He's got the nasty streak that you want. He is tall. He measured in at 6'9". Also, great combine, but measured in at 6'9", which sometimes you get guys that can't really sink and anchor, but yeah, he can sink his hips. He can get low, even though he's tall. He doesn't suffer from the tall tackle problem like someone like Patrick Paul does. He's just, his stance is picture perfect. He's a great pass protector. He's really good with his hands. He's kind of just the perfect tackle prospect. He's really good in space at pulling. Like, there's nothing that this guy can't do in pass protection or run blocking. He's really smart. He's good against stunts. He's got experience. Like, he's such a good tackle prospect. Joe Alt is awesome. And if he's on the board and the Titans do anything else, I would be shocked. And also, like, you give this guy to Bill Callahan, he's going to be a Pro Bowler year 2 in Tennessee with Bill Callahan.
Yeah,
like,
no,
maybe 3.
The only thing I can see here is if you
But-
don't like anybody else, which, come on, anyone's better than your fucking tackle situation
Yeah,
now. But if,
yeah.
like, Rome's here and you're like, now listen,
You
I'm
trust
I'm one
Callahan
of,
to develop it.
exactly,
Yeah,
I'm like
yeah.
one of these huge Will Levis guys, and if you're like, he's the future, let's go out and get him a 1, like, I'm not comparing Will Levis to Joe Burrow, but what, like, they did, pass on a tackle to go get their wide receiver, I'd be okay with that, but I don't think Rome is here.
I do understand that.
I understand
but
it too.
yeah.
No, I completely understand it. If you're like, yeah, no, he's so good at developing tackle.
Yeah.
We can take
Like
anybody.
I liked Jalen Duncan last year. Like, I'm excited to see what he can do with Jalen Duncan. Like, if you say like we're gonna get one round 2, like we think he can develop. I don't know, like Patrick Paul or something. You know. Like, all right.
Just be like,
I trust
who do you
Bill
think
Callahan.
you can develop?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, all right, which one do you want? Take your pick. We'll give him to you, but we're taking Rome here. I get that. Obviously, he's not on the board. Even then, for me personally, I'm still going Joe Alt.
It's
but
just, I'd understand if they went another
yeah,
way.
yeah. It's like you trust the coach at that point, so fair enough. But we're going with Joe Alt here.
At number 8 here, Atlanta. In my opinion, this is defensive all the way, whether it's D-line, whether
Unless Rome. If
unless-
Rome is
if
there,
Rome
you
is-
can think about it.
you can think
But
about
yeah.
it. But listen, I think he's sauce, but more
Yeah,
athletic.
I called it.
He's sauce with 4.3 speed. I'm taking
Not
Quinyon
the,
Mitchell.
Not the but more athletic.
But more athletic. I fucking love Quinyon Mitchell. He dead ass might be a top 5 player. No, probably not. He's more top 10 player in this class for me. But listen, I'm in love with Quinyon Mitchell. And some people say this is a reach. I'd fucking take him to heartbeat at 11. So like at 8, you're not going too out there. Plus to get your CB, I believe that
Him
this
and Terrell is scary.
Physical tackler, reads the QB's eyes well. Like, you can tell he watches film. He breaks on the ball, like, super well. Like, no one I've ever seen. He's just 4.3 speed. Like, he runs 4.3. So, bats the ball away, like, exceptionally well. He can play in the slot and outside. I think he measured in at 6 foot. I think it was 6 foot,
Yeah,
like
he had
3/4.
good size.
So, he's good size. Here it's just listed. He'll be 6'1", 175, by the way. Don't let the school fool you. Yeah, I know Toledo, like, bumfuck nowhere,
At
but like,
Senior Bowl,
but
though.
listen, man, at Senior Bowl, you're there with the best of the best guys, like mostly, and you know,
Who
have
are
a Marv,
seniors.
who are seniors, right? So you're going up against him, and he had a hell of a day. And then the question everybody wanted to know: can he press? He might fucking be the best in the class at pressing. He's so fucking good.
What I want to know is why Toledo didn't use him in press.
Yeah.
Like,
Coach, what are you doing over there?
yeah, what are we doing?
Because you had to see it in practice at some point. He's really physical at the catch point.
Dude, he mugged Roman Wilson.
No,
you
he
don't.
mugged him. Yeah.
No, you don't. What do you think he was doing to the guys in practice at Toledo?
What do you think he was doing to the fucking Buffalo receivers? Like,
Yeah.
come on. Doesn't allow separation. Like, he's quite literally just hip to hip the whole way. He led the nations in pass defended in 2022. Of course, it went
He had a
down.
4 interception game too.
Yeah, so of
That
course
game was
they're like,
hilarious.
let's not throw it at him. So his stats obviously didn't look good, but you know, when you see like, oh, he only had like fucking 9 total tackles this year, it might be meaning like he didn't have to tackle anybody. But he's really physical in the run game, so don't worry about that. He anticipates the ball. Like, I think I saw him like allow like 2 catches when they were up 35 to like 10 against Buffalo, and the flats were just open, but that's just the coverage, so nothing to worry about there. And he doesn't get beat. He is one of the best corners I've ever watched, like I said, with the stupid all-time great prospect and fast. I've been saying this before that. I said this I think back in November, maybe December, that he's legit. In my opinion, I think he's sauce, but with 4.3 speed. So Quinyon Mitchell is going 8 here to Atlanta. I love him. Another one of like my guys this year. Yeah, I'm in love with Quinyon.
We got the Chicago Bears at 9, and I had this guy at 4 last time, so you better believe I'll take him at 9. I'm going with Jared Verse from FSU. This guy's a stud, dude. Like, he tested really well too, which better than I thought he would. Honestly, he's a good athlete, but I didn't think he was going to be as good as he was. But 6'4", 260. He might even be heavier than that, honestly. And if he's not, his punch in power is crazy for his size. But he's a big 4.3 end, hand in the dirt, power rusher. He's a great run defender. That's where I want to start. Like, he's the best run defender on the edge in the class. I don't think it's close. He's really disciplined. He fights to the ball consistently. He's tough. He uses his hands well. He's got a rip, bull rush, spin move. He's got it all. He's absolutely relentless. I think he can play 3-4 outside backer too. I wouldn't do it. I'd just go normal 4-3, but I think he could. Violent hands. He's good at just batting away the hands and ripping through. He's got a nice cross chop too. That's one thing that you always hear us talk about, because that's when you see someone pull that off, you know that they are an advanced pass rusher and they know what they're doing.
That shit off in college,
And that's Jared Verse can do it. He's got the reason why he's my edge 1 is he's got the power to go right through you. He's got the technique and enough bend to get around you. The bend isn't elite, but it's good enough. And when you pair it with the amazing power profile that he has, him and Montez Sweat, that's not going to be fun for opposing offensive lines. And I think that's going to be a great duo for the Bears here.
Okay, at 10, you have the New York Jets. Listen, you need a tackle. He's moved up from tackle 3 for me. I really liked him when I watched him first. I'm taking Talisa Fuaga.
He's
Fuaga, I heard.
Yeah, I heard that too.
He's 6'6".
He's my 2 now as well. I had
after the Senior Bowl.
I moved him up. Yeah.
He's 6'6", 334. He's powerful. Opens up huge holes. I think he's the best run blocker in the class. Like, he's a bowling ball, like pancakes. Like, here, seal, gaping hole.
If we're gonna do the butt comps, if we're gonna keep that rolling,
I think we just keep that rolling on.
Well, there's 2. So Tevin Jenkins just on crack, and just more athletic, better at football. Tevin, he has the same mentality of just, I'm gonna kill you.
He down blocks like really well. Seal's amazing. He has really good hand fighting. Pancakes in the run game, like, you're counting them. You're counting how many pancakes. It's like a fantasy football punishment with how many pancakes there are. You're sitting at an IHOP. You're like Paul Glenn having to eat 8 pancakes at IHOP, right? Really good punch. He gets to the second level, like, consistently. He gets pushed back sometimes on film, but like at the Senior Bowl, like, once again, best of the best. Dude. Anchor was amazing. I think sometimes he gets stood up just a little bit. Picks up stunts really well. Like I said, flushes guys to the outside. Sometimes I saw him, I think maybe once or twice I saw him get fooled by a stunt. But like I said, like, kind of nitpicky stuff with him. But at the Senior Bowl is where I was like, all right, you're the best run blocker in the class, and you have a really good fucking anchor. You're number 2. Just, he to block for Aaron Rodgers, who hopefully that witchcraft that he's on has that Achilles fully healed up. You need him blocking for you. He can play both, definitely right and left. But either way, wherever you want to play him, he's going to be great.
Jets need both. So.
Tackle 2, pretty easily for me here, and you protect Aaron Rodgers.
Pick 11, you get the Vikings. And we are not going to be going with J.J. McCarthy. We are going to be going with Laiatu Latu.
You're welcome.
Edge from UCLA.
Just want to let you know, though, Vikings fans, just get ready. He will be your quarterback.
Yeah.
He's going to be your quarterback. Yeah. They're trading up to 5.
You're going to like it. But, yeah, 6'5", 265. If you guys, I'm sure some of you guys, if you're OG day ones here, you guys remember me gushing over Jalen Phillips. That's my comp for him. It's not just because of the medical retirement and concussions.
And UCLA.
That is part
and
of it.
And,
yeah, there's a lot of similarities. They might just be the same person. But Latu's sick. He's the best technical pass rusher in the class. It's not close. He tested pretty well, too.
No, that's the thing. He tested, I think a lot better than people thought.
Yeah, everyone...
They were kind of like... They almost were like, just brace yourselves, like, the numbers might...
Just be decent. That's what it was.
And he was better than decent.
Yeah,
he was, I think, slightly above average.
But, yeah, solid in run D. Like I said, great speed rusher. Cross chop sick. Outside swim is beautiful. Very advanced technique. His ghost move might be the best one out of all of those. Did kind of get owned by Tulise Fuaga, which is why he's a top 10 pick. But he doesn't have... The reason he's below Verse is just because he doesn't have the power profile that Verse does. He's a one-dimensional rusher in the fact that he's only a speed rusher, but he's so good as a speed rusher and with his hands that I don't care. But someone like Jared Verse, who's more complete, is going to be edge one for me. I think he can be a stand-up edge or a 3-4 outside backer. Tons of TFLs on his film. He's absolutely relentless. He's got a really good spin move as well. He rushes with a plan. I've seen him in interviews, too, talking about pass rush. Like, he knows what he's talking about. Latu's a beast. It's just going to be a matter of medical for him.
But
we don't factor that in. I don't know anything. I'm not a doctor. I don't know.
My thing is, you didn't hear anything at the combine.
From what I've heard at the combine, they said he did well.
Him and Penix, I guess, passed with flying colors.
So, but if Latu is, if he is healthy and you think he's healthy, he's probably a top 10 player in the class, if not top 15 lock. And I think Minnesota, this would be a hell of a Daniil Hunter replacement.
Yeah.
But ideally, you could pair them both together. But, yeah, it's going to be a great pick either way. So.
Okay, 12 here. You have the Denver Broncos. Bringing in a new quarterback, whoever that might be. You might have Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy off the team. So, Marvin Mims isn't a 1. Sorry. He's a good kick returner. But you need a weapon. And you're taking the guy we've been hearing about for the last 3 years, and Brock Bowers. He's an amazing run blocker. Like, I think people were shitting on his run blocking at the start of the year. He's really good run blocker. Amazing hands. He has soft hands receiving, which basically means he's not going to, smack it when he catches it. He has nice soft hands. Honestly, he's like a 6th lineman. He's 6'4", 240, so the weight's not there from, a Darnell Washington, last year, who was legit, a 3rd tackle.
Yeah.
But he's almost like a 6th lineman. He can't get brought down by one guy. He's a tank. Really good speed for his size. Great size, 6'4", 240. You see the Gronk comps where it's just, really good run blocker. What, you don't agree with that? With
that,
the Gronk comps, with the really good run blocker?
I think you're gassing up the run blocking.
I really like the run blocking.
I think it's solid.
I don't think it's Gronk level, but I see that.
I think it's solid. I think really good.
I think
it's too far.
I think it's really good.
Okay.
What I saw, I love the run blocking.
I think it's good. I think really good.
I'm not saying it's Gronk. Gronk.
I think it's solid. I think really good is Darnell Washington.
I think
they are not in the same tier.
No, they're not in the same tier.
Not even close.
I really like Brock Bowers' run blocking though. He's not like Gronk where he's gonna have a 96 blocking grade.
Yeah.
He'll have a.
I can't.
He'll have a 70 maybe on the high.
I don't know if I can let a Gronk comp slide. Is all I'm saying.
Listen, I might last year we were Michael Mayer may be that guy. If there's a guy who has a receiving ability and can block well, you saw Darnell Washington, he was a good receiver, but he wasn't anything special. But he was a disgusting blocker. Best of both worlds here.
I hear you.
I think this is the guy, the future of the tight end
When you
position.
explain it, it makes more sense than you just saying next Gronk.
I didn't say that. I said I see the Gronk comps. 3-level threat. He'll win deep. He'll win on a deep post. They run him like a receiver, which is why I don't want you to more think of him as a tight end.
Too.
Yeah, think of him as. Maybe
versatile weapon.
Versatile weapon. Fucking Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
He's better than Kyle Pitts, by the way, as a prospect. Great route running. Ready for the really white fucking thing. He finds the open spots in the defense and sits in them.
Just wait till we get to Lad McConkey. And Ricky Pearsall for those.
Oh, I'm taking Ricky Pearsall 33, and you're gonna fucking like it. Demolishes zone coverage. You run zone against him. Good luck. You need to put a like safety or
You're
a
on
linebacker.
thin ice, pal,
Yeah,
when you run zone against
Oh,
him.
yeah. No, it's Brock Bowers is amazing. Like he's the tight end prospect. Like you haven't been hearing about. You've heard about him for like the last 3 years at Georgia, and like I said, don't think of him as tight end positional value. Think of him as this guy can go for like consistent like 1,000, 1,200 yards like each year. So Brock Bowers here, Denver. You need a weapon. You need to build the team up before you take the inevitable quarterback, which who fucking knows if you can get that shit right. So Brock may be in quarterback hell for the next 4 years.
13 for the Raiders. I'm going tackle here. I'm going to get you right tackle. I'm going with J.C. Latham. Him and Amarius Mims are extremely close for me, but I think Latham is just a better fit for the Raiders specifically.
What, Alabama tackle?
Well, I mean, yeah, but I just mean, like, I think Latham's a better run blocker. They clearly want to run the shit out of the ball. Yep. And, yeah, I think, like,
He's not Alex Leatherwood, guys.
And Amarius Mims, I learned this at the Combine, at Georgia, had a 60-40 split in practice. I am extremely comfortable with him playing left tackle. But, like, we have Colton Miller here. Like, J.C. Latham is a pure right tackle. I don't want him playing left tackle, but he's just a better run blocker, and I think they're very similar in pass pro, so give me him for the Raiders, who clearly want to run the ball. He's 6'6". I think he was listed at 360. He was like 345 at the Combine, so it's good that he's kind of cutting down and just making sure he's even more explosive. But for his size, he's really explosive off the line. Great run blocker. I mean, down blocking, this guy's terrifying. He can get to the second level. He's got a really good anchor. Every J.C. Latham rep looks the same.
Yeah.
He drops. It's usually like a short kick set, but he takes a couple steps out wide, good punch timing, grabs you inside hands, and you just stand there for like 4 seconds, and then the rep's over. Nothing really happens most of the time.
Nothing really stands out to you, but like once you see him, you're just like, right, well, he's not allowing anything, so he's
he has such good grip strength that they just kind of stay there, and he never lets go. He does a good job with his anchor and giving ground slowly. Good against stunts. He plays low, even though he's big. That's something we talked about with Joe Alt. We really look for it. Readjusts his hands well. Powerful punch. I mean, as you would imagine, he's 345. He's 6'6". Like, he punches you. You get stunned, and that's all the time he needs to get his hands inside and just hold you there. Great gap scheme run blocker, which is exactly what the Raiders run. He's got good technique, like I said, super consistent. Footwork always looks the same pretty much. I think he's a high floor player. A lot of people are a lot lower on him than I think he should be. I see him late first a lot. I don't really get that. I think people are. I think it's a lot of just like, since Evan Neal is bad, they think they have a similar height weight profile.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of where some of the slander comes in. But J.C. Latham's a beast. He's an easy top 20 player for me. I have no problem taking him here at 13. I think I took him at 7 in our last mock draft.
You might have.
Because he was my tackle too then, but I moved Fuaga above him. But I really like J.C. Latham. I think this is a good culture pick, too, for Antonio Pierce and for what they want to do, and I think it's a great fit.
Okay, here at 14, once again, Ramczyk, might, retire. So you need offensive line desperately bad.
I want them to put Trevor Penning at guard, too. No more tackle for him.
No more tackle for Trevor.
He's been banned.
So I'm taking Amarius Mims here. 6'7", 340. Super explosive off the line. Punch, super violent. He just stuns the guys at the line of scrimmage. He does lunge quite a bit, so you gotta clean that up. You just gotta clean up the lunging, because to get over your feet, it's pretty
That's
easy.
when bad stuff happens as an offensive lineman.
Really good run blocker. Has extremely long arms.
I don't know what he measured it. Or I think it was 36.
Yeah.
Or something stupid.
So
I mean, we watched him run the 40. Daniel Jeremiah described him as an Avenger.
Yeah.
He should have said Thanos.
Yeah.
I feel like that's
Yeah,
a more
yeah.
accurate
It's like
comparison.
Thanos running into battle.
Yeah,
like
but
that's what he's like.
Amarius Mims, he's a ridiculous athlete.
No, I think it was 99th,
Yeah.
but it was closest to 100th percentile, which is absolutely
Your
absurd.
concern is he played 8 games, but
Yes.
in those 8 games, he was technically sound other than the lunging.
He does a really good job keeping his hands inside, picks up stunts overall pretty well. His feet are kind of heavy, but they're quick. They don't stop moving, which you don't want to just see your tackle just get, like, comfortable almost in, like, a set foot, you know what I mean? You want to see them keep driving.
Yeah. No, his feet don't stop moving. You like to see that.
Too high in the run block, but still gets solid movement. Solid out in space and pulling. And overall, just once again, just an athletic freak that he's going to be good if you just develop and get the shitty stuff out of him.
He's good right
yeah,
now,
he's
too.
good.
That's the thing. Like,
Just
I don't
get
like the way
legend.
people talk
Yeah.
about him as, like, we'll get to some guys that need development, that are athletic, like a Kingsley Suamatea, who is not ready, or Tyler Guyton, who is an athlete, but Jesus, do they not know how to play tackle right now. Amarius Mims
knows how to play
tackle. He was just hurt way too much. But he's good right now, and his ceiling's very high. I almost took him over J.C. Latham. I think Latham's just better right now, so I got to take him. But this is like when you were talking about Rome, about how he should not be receiver 3, and saying that makes you feel stupid.
Yep.
Like, when I say Amarius Mims is my tackle 4, I feel like an idiot.
Yeah.
Because I think he's going to be a stud, and I really, really like him. And he's probably going to be like, dude, I might put him like 10 on my board. I love Amarius Mims. So.
And then just one thing with his power, no one really tried a power move against him, but like when they did, like he handled it pretty well.
Let me just explain it like this. Like, let's just think, like, does bull rushing the 6'7", 340-pound guy with 36-inch arms
sound like a
who
good idea.
also ran like a 5.05 40, does that sound smart?
No.
Yeah.
Class
so.
A, yes. B, maybe. C, no.
Yeah.
The answer's C.
Yeah, like, yeah. You don't do
he's
that.
Very good.
You got to beat him to the edge, and when you have 36-inch arms, you're not going to, as long as he knows how to use his length. All right, 15, we got the Colts on the clock, and I'm going with Cooper DeJean from Iowa.
Oh, yeah.
They need corner. This is an Indianapolis guy right
it
here,
is.
too. This is the best white boy in Indiana since Larry Bird.
Yes,
this is a hell of a fit, but like the first thing I always like to bring up with DeJean is just the fact that he's an elite athlete, because it's just funny. Like, I was telling my buddy this when I was driving down, but like, scored more points in basketball than Harrison Barnes in high school. He averaged 26 a game as a senior. Like, crazy athlete. Watch his highlights. They're hilarious. Like, he's dunking on kids at like 6'1", 207. Iowa State long jump champion. This guy threw for 3,500 yards and like 30 touchdowns as a quarterback, and then ran for 1,224. Like, that's so dumb. Like, but he's such a good athlete. It's just he's white, so he's, he doesn't get the respect there. But I think he is solid in press, but where he makes his money is in off coverage. As you would imagine, being a white corner, oh buddy, he can play in the slot. Great, his tackling is his best attribute. Elite tackler, best one. I know I like Quignon's tackling a lot too. DeJean's better.
Yeah. DeJean is better.
I think you could play him at safety if you wanted to, just because of his tackling. It's like Devon Witherspoon.
Yeah,
I don't think you should. I think if you want to get him involved in the run game, play him in the slot. Don't play him at safety. But I think he can be an outside corner. He has all the tools to be it, athleticism-wise. He's smart. He watches film.
He's a good boy.
He's a hard worker, lunch pail mentality, all that good stuff. But legitimately great athlete, very good coverage skills, super fluid hips, can turn and run, breaks really well on the ball. He's got good ball skills as well. Like, I don't have And the only complaint I have is maybe get better at press, but if like I'm just gonna play him in off, so like doesn't really matter.
You know, this
it's
guy-
like Quinyon Mitchell
Yeah.
before like we all realized he was also insane at press at the Senior Bowl. It's like he's fine in press, but he's elite in off. So like I'm just gonna put him where he's good.
Yeah.
So
This guy would be like an insane like pickup at like LA Fitness. like they'd be like, we don't want the white boy, and then he's over here doing windmill dunks. Like he'd be an insane LA Fitness basketball player.
Put him in the third White Men Can't Jump
Yes.
remake.
Okay, at 16 you have Seattle. For the longest time, I had this as Troy Fatanu, but after the combine and what he measured in
It
at,
turns out he has long
he
arms.
is a tackle.
Look at that. Yeah.
So I'm gonna take the best interior offensive lineman now, in Jackson Powers Johnson. Okay, JPJ was maybe behind Quinyon, best player at the Senior Bowl. I think he probably was the best player at the Senior Bowl. Amazing versatility on the line. Really athletic blocker. Gets to the second level consistently with speed. Creates movement at the line of scrimmage. Really good anchor. Like this kid went from
dude, he is a tank.
Yeah, he's a tank.
He's like 6'2".
Yes.
Like he's a 330-pound center.
I have him
320.
written. I have him written down to 6'3", 320.
Yeah.
Probably a little.
I think he might be 330.
But listen, like at the Senior Bowl, he rose his stock from like
It's like
mid-second to like 16 consistently.
Yeah.
Like he's so good. A great anchor, mean streak. He has a nasty streak. Gets up the field. Great hands. Doesn't get doesn't get tall. And my favorite thing, he's a dog. Like he'll put you in the ground. Like he's mean. Like I know Jackson Powers Johnson sounds like your fucking neighbor that you like need to borrow a lawnmower from, but like this kid, he'll put you in the ground. Like I said, he showed out at the Senior Bowl. Like really good. I'm probably missing some stuff. Martin can tag on some more, but this is just what I saw. But overall, he was just so good at the Senior. Like he made everybody look like a bitch, basically.
Yeah.
He made the best of the best look like a bitch. I don't think he lost a single rep like all day. Maybe to Gabe Hall.
I don't think he lost, dude.
I don't think he lost. Like he was exceptional at the Senior Bowl, and he's now with that Fatanu is now a tackle, kind of like just he's a tackle. He's easily the best interior offensive lineman in the draft.
And it's a great interior class. There's a lot of guys that I really, really like, but none more than JPJ. JPJ is awesome. I think I'm not really going to add much. I think you kind of hit everything. He's just
damn good.
Dude, he's the most, like, he's probably the safest player in the first round.
Yeah,
one. Outside of, like, Marv, Malik, and, like, all the really obvious ones. Like, interior alignment in general usually hit, but, like, if he's not good, like, I would be shocked. He does everything well that translates
I would say I would use
to
the
the
bus-proof
NFL.
line.
Yeah, exactly. All right, 17, we got the Jags on the clock. I was just telling Joe I've never made this pick before, but
that happens a lot in these mock drafts.
No, it really does.
We really like plan. Like I think I've done the most mocks I've ever done, and I'm like,
we always plan them out, and by like pick 13, it's like, shit.
A new pick.
Yeah, this is a new, but that's good. That's how we do it. That's why it's always good when we have both of us, because we get two different perspectives, causes. Like I'm not gonna, like I love Quinyon Mitchell. I'm taking Jared Verse at 8. I'm not taking him. So that opens up that, and then that messes up other picks. Yeah. And that causes this beautiful mock draft that we are making. Yes. That being said, I'm going to take Byron Murphy from Texas. Okay. They just released Fadakasi. Not that they're going to play the same role, because Byron Murphy is not a nose, but I just pulled up the depth chart, and Roy Robertson Harris is a solid player, but they run a 3-4. They don't have another 3-4 end, and I think Byron Murphy could be really good in that role.
Quick conversation while we do this pick. How much further down do you have Tavondre than Byron?
I have Tavondre Sweat as a first round player for sure. I love Tavondre, but dude, Byron Murphy is a different breed of interior pass rusher. I mean, I watched Tavondre before you did, and I was like,
no, I fell in love with Tavondre.
Joe, this guy can play, and I love Tavondre. You will see him in this first round. I can promise you that. But Byron Murphy, like I said, I mean, as far as the 3-tech, like, sick hand usage. He's got a great bull rush. He's got juice. He's really athletic. You leave him one-on-one, he will crush the pocket with his bull rush.
Yep.
It's not the T'Vondre Sweat just wait on you bull rush, but he's 308, he's 6'1", he's got natural leverage with that. He can legitimately anchor against the run with doubles. I watched some of the reps against the run anchoring against doubles are insane with how low he gets to the ground and just how he bends his legs in his anchor. And, like, I've seen Byron Murphy intentionally fall to the ground to get below the block. Like, basically, like, broad jump up TFL. Some of the stuff that, like, I don't think I've ever seen a D-tackle do that.
Does.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone do that before.
No, when you say, he falls to the ground purposely. Huh?
Well, you do that when you're getting beat to create a pile. Like, that's nose tackle 101. But he's not playing nose, and it's against a double, and it's just Byron Murphy is just different.
Not when you have a 380-pound T'Vondre Sweat.
Yeah, exactly.
Nose.
But he's a very complete pass rusher. He's super good with his hands, and he's very athletic. That's a winning combination. Byron Murphy, I think, I don't know, probably. I can't say top 15 for everybody because there aren't enough players.
Here's the thing, though. I think I've legit said this guy's a first-round prospect for, like, 45 guys.
I know. There are memes where it's like, this year is going to be the first year where we have 50 players go in the first round.
Yeah.
And I really like Byron Murphy, and I think he's pretty solid value at 17.
Okay, at 18, Cincinnati Bengals, in my opinion, like, I don't want to say top 15 guy, like you used to say for everybody.
That's what I'm saying,
but, like,
bro.
The borderline top 15 guy falls to you here at 18. And Troy Fautanu, explosive out of his stance. I think my one negative with him is he's just over aggressive sometimes, where he's like, I need to hit you super quick, and then he'll just get caught off guard almost, which will lead to, like, quick losses. But it's not often. Great punch. What was his arms on here? I have 34.
I think it was like it was 34 and, like, I think it might have even been like 34 and I don't know. I think it was like 2/8 or something.
So 34.
For anyone that doesn't know, the benchmark is 33. As long as you are, like, over, like, 33 and, like, 3/8, like, we're not worried about it.
So he's playing tackle with 34-inch arms. I think he has the best snatch trap in the class. He's disgustingly good with that. He's always looking for work, always looking to hit somebody and make an impact, which you love to see from your guys. Plays with great leverage in the pass game. Terrific mover in space in the run game, laterally and upfield. Like, he crushed it at the combine. He really did. His hand technique is really good. I think he needs to just play with more, like, control, and then that's it. Like, he's good. And then he's also he's really fucking versatile is what I'm trying to say. Guys, I take CCP English. Be easy on me.
It's all good.
He can play almost anywhere on the line. Like, I've heard, like, guys like Graham Barton, like, versatile on the line, but, like, Troy Fautanu is, like...
I think Barton played center in high school.
Yeah, like, Troy
Which
Fautanu...
means he literally has all 5 position versatility.
But, like, Troy Fautanu is that guy, especially now. Like, I don't want to say he fell a little bit. Like, pick-wise, he's going to fall a little bit.
No, it actually is
because he's a tackle, but now it's just, like, you're a better player because you're a tackle, but the Seahawks need interior, so you're going
it's going to be
picks
good
later.
for him, though.
But it's going to be good for him. It's going to be great for Cincinnati. You're going to have this guy falling to you. But Troy Fautanu, I really loved watching him. One of the, like I said, tackle sometimes is a tough watch when you're watching the bumfuck no ones, and you're like, I don't want to watch Javon Foster. Stop with the pain, please. But I genuinely had a lot of fun watching Troy Fautanu. 6'4", 317, by the way, so he's good size. So yeah,
crazy arm length for 6'4". Too.
No,
like,
that's
why
exactly
we were kind of concerned. I just got a couple things to add. I agree with pretty much everything Joe said about how good he is with his hands and stuff. Just, I wanted him to play guard when I first watched him, and, like, it was a little bit because of the arm length, because there were some times where guys got into his chest and I was questioning the arm length. That's like the one thing I want him to improve on. But the main reason I wanted him as a guard is this guy, he's so good at pulling and out in space that I just wanted him to pull as much as possible at guard. Like he moves so well out in space. So that was the main thing for me. Was I was just like, I just want him to do this as much as possible. But if you're a team and like you run like if you draft him, like run a lot of counter, please, and just run behind him and let him work. I think since he's a great spot for him, I would not be surprised at all if this happens in the real draft.
I could also see Cincy saying, "Hey, we gotta make sure no one else gets." I can see them trading up for him. Like, he's very good. Like, I wouldn't be shocked.
Ready to play right now.
No, exactly. I wouldn't be shocked if he goes over Mims.
No, I wouldn't be either. It's just it just depends if the team values how good Troy Fatanu is right now, or
versus
how good.
But Mims is gonna be.
Dude, I think Mims is so good right now already. So that's the thing.
It's just if the team has concerns.
Yeah. All right. 19, you got the Rams on the clock. This is the pick that I've made quite a few times, and I'm kind of just going to keep doing it. It's Dallas Turner. Edge 1 for a lot of people. My 3/4. I don't know. Me and Braylon Trice are kind of in we're taking a break right now.
He's my 3. And once again, another guy where it's just like, he shouldn't be Edge 3, but he is. Like, it's just...
Yeah, me and Trice were taking a break because I just, I thought he was 273, and now he's 245, and he really doesn't have that much bend, and he's a power rusher, and now I don't really know what's happening, so I'm kind of just...
Let's just hope he took his cut too far for the combine.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. But
it's almost like...
I had similar grades on him, Latu, and Turner off film, so, you can...
he's... Dallas Turner's my 3, locked in right now.
He's third edge off the board right here, so he's 6'4", 250. He's got good size, very good and disciplined in run D. He plays well at the point of attack, really good bend. That's kind of where he makes his money and what he's probably the best at out of the big 3. Good outside rusher, very nice rip and ghost moves. He's explosive, 3-4 outside backer for sure. He's got a bull rush. His long arm's very nice too. Gets the hustle sacks, which you like to see. He does a really good job of just working his hands throughout the rep. A lot of Dallas Turner wins. First move doesn't work. Second sometimes does, but you'll see him winning on his third move pretty consistently. And you just a lot of the other guys do that too, but it's just something that stands out with him. I think he uses hands well. He does the little DeMarcus Lawrence where you just bat the hands and then ghost move. He's pretty solid in coverage, honestly.
That was a big shock for me.
That's why I think he's a stand-up outside linebacker in a 3-4 all day. And his outside swim's very good as well. I think Dallas Turner's a pretty complete pass rusher with a very high ceiling and room to grow because of the sick athleticism. At the combine. We knew he was going to test really well.
He tested better than fucking Chop Robinson.
4.47. Yeah, 4.47. Explosive as all hell. 40-inch vert or something? Yeah.
Listen,
dude, edges are the freakiest athletes out of any position in football.
I hate the flex here, but at the College Football Hall of Fame, I had a 39-inch vert. I'll put it up on the screen. I'll add another
thing.
thing.
Don't believe that.
Listen,
that's accurate.
The system told me it was 39. I'm sticking with 39. I don't know if you're about to say this, but what I really saw, or almost like you with Tyree Wilson last year, what I failed to see was him in the run defense. He was so good at filling gaps in run defense. He was elite at it. I loved watching him in the run defense. At 20, once again, just a pick I've never done, but for the first time I'm doing it here. Taking Brian Thomas Jr. for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I know you got George Pickens. Deontay Johnson might be on the way out. Allen Robinson just got released today.
Deontay can play slot anyway.
But they say they're exploring trades with him.
I saw that. So, I'm just saying if he stays, he can...
So, anyway, I think you need another guy. Listen, I don't think you're picking a quarterback here. Do you want Kenny Pickett again? Let's be honest here. Kenny... I don't know.
Personally, I think it's any form of offensive line or corner, but I can definitely see.
But I think Brian Thomas is getting close to a top 15 guy. How many times are we gonna fucking say it? But he's close to a top 15 guy.
Dude, it's so
I'm sorry, but he really is.
There are 38 top 15 guys.
There legit is. There's so many. LSU might be representing. 6'4", 205. He's best used as a big, deep threat, but he can do damage after the catch. 4.34 speed, it's legit. Like, he did not look that fast on tape, but fuck, he can fly. Really good body control, good jump ball, red zone threat, 17 touchdowns. Yeah. I thought it was a typo when I first saw it. I legit thought it was a typo. I was like, that's not right. And then I looked it up, and I was like, oh, 17 touchdowns? You shit me? Which kind of made me go back and rewatch him. I've watched LSU versus Alabama a million times, which I'm pretty sure he didn't do that well in, which, spoiler, who's coming up pretty soon here. But, like, and then I went back and watched more of him, and it's just like, oh, okay, this is why he's wide receiver 4. Good jump ball guy. He's really good on fades. Can play out of the slot. He wins all over the field. I think he wins more over the field than Malik does. Malik, I think, it's so tough. These two are so good. They're very comparable. Does a great job finding space over the middle. Oh, he's not a cracker, but he can do it. Has really good hands. Is a really good route runner all over the field. Like, you may expect, he's 6'4", maybe he's not that, like, shifty. He's pretty shifty. Complete route tree. Doesn't have really a weakness. He did get shut down during Bama, which, like I said, but that's like Kool-Aid, Arnold. Like, you got all those guys. Caleb Downs, their star. Well, now
not anymore.
Ohio State safety. But yeah, Brian Thomas. I love him. I'll get to another receiver who I think I'm in love with more, but Brian Thomas Jr. is the better prospect as of right now. Stuff may change. Love him, and I think once again, Pittsburgh. You might need to look in another direction. You might need to make a sexy pick here and get some weapons over there for your next quarterback.
All right, 21, you got the Miami Dolphins. Joe thought I was going with somebody. I'm not. I was doing that forever. But after Xavier Howard got cut,
ooh, okay,
I like making this corner room just sick. And give me Terrion Arnold from Alabama to play slot.
Okay.
With Cam Smith and Jalen Ramsey.
Okay.
I like the idea of this. I thought of this like last week, and I was really thinking about it because I like Terrion Arnold as an outside corner, of course. I think he's a good player, really good and off. I don't see like the CB1 hype or anything, but I think he's a good player. I think he drives on the ball well. I think he plays well and off. I think he can play press. I like that he was tested a lot this year because they had Kool-Aid on the other side. But dude, I love him in the slot. He's a really good blitzer.
He's a really nice blitzer.
I think he's a good tackler. Yep. I think he's fluid in space. That checks the boxes for a slot.
No, he's really good. And some people call me a hater because I'll have some other guy. I'll have another guy maybe sometimes going higher than him, but it's just more because like I don't see, which it sucks when you're like, no, I think he's good, but I don't think he's as good as everybody else. I don't see CB1. I don't see rumors he might go 5. I don't see that at all.
So I have the guy you're talking about. I have pretty similar thoughts on that, but like I think this is a situation of I like the player.
Yeah.
I love the fit.
That's fair. Yeah, no, that's great.
Yeah, so for me, like Arnold in the slot, I love the idea of this. I hope they do it. Like.
It's almost like,
I think all of his, like, I'm not saying he should, and, like, they moved Jalen Ramsey in the slot, so I'm sure he'll play outside snaps, too. Terrion Arnold is good enough to be an outside corner. Yeah, absolutely 100%. But, in the slot, guarding two-way goes, and, like, I think he could be phenomenal in Miami. And this is more of a, just, I love the fit. And it is a need now that they cut Xavier Howard. So, thought of this last week. I really like the idea of it, and I'm rocking with it.
Okay, here at 22, I believe, we have the Philadelphia Eagles. Listen, that secondary is ass. It's sad seeing Darius Slay and James Bradbury fall off. It's especially tough to see them doing it at the same time. Yeah. And that really hurt them.
Cut Avonte Maddox, too.
Yeah. Golden ticket in Madden 20, by the way.
Yeah. They did say he might be coming back, though, on a cheaper deal.
Anyway, this is crazy time. For me, this is where it's just like, what are you doing? I'm taking Kyrie Jackson out of Oregon, 6'3", 195. I watched this guy for a New England Patriots mock-off season, just a little bit. And then, about a month ago, I went full in-depth, balls deep, into Kyrie Jackson. And boy, do I love him even more. Listen, he was ranked as, like, a 4th, 5th round pick. He's up to like a 3rd.
Yeah.
I see on PFF he's like 57 now, so people are starting to see it. Excellent length for a CB, 6'3". I saw one site said he might be 6'4", but I think he's 6'3". He plays to his size using his long arms and coverage, sinks his hips, transitions really well. He's an excellent competitor at the catch point, has the timing and body control to get his hands through the receiver. He's a really good form tackler. Like, he's not going to fuck up tackling. Like, he's not going to do the good old shoulder tackle, which I've seen a lot of people do, which doesn't make me happy. He gets involved in run support, which I like to see, and which is why I have him over Kool-Aid McKinstry, to be honest. Because, 1, I think he's more athletic than Kool-Aid, and 2, I think he's a better just overall tackler, and you can use him in more ways than Kool-Aid. Although I love Kool-Aid, I think, more than most people, which is a little weird when I'm taking Kyrie here, but I do really like the pick. He plays extremely well in press coverage. He sometimes struggles to carry super fast receivers down the field. I think I saw him one time. The only time I saw him get burned was by Pulp, and that was it. I saw him get torched once, and then he was locked down the rest of the games I watched. He's a hard hitter. You like to see both worlds. He's really athletic. He has really good catch-up speed. I think he ran a 4.5 40, but he's really big. He's 6'4", or 6'3", 6'4", which you don't love to see, but I think he plays faster on the field. It's almost like a Keon Coleman situation where he ran, what did Keon run, a 4.6, but he got up to 19 miles an hour, almost 20.
Yeah.
So, like, I think it's a very similar situation there. Runs hip to hip, blitzes really well. Like, I love seeing him. He came off the edge a little bit, which I love to see. I didn't really pick up on this the first time, but he communicates with his teammates. He's a leader out there. You can see him telling him where his guys to go, when you play defensive back, when you're in trips, you can't line up on the same level. He'll tell his guys where to go on the level. He'll communicate with that. He's really good, telling them to move up, move back. Covers extremely well downfield. Like you said, he recovers super well. You can tell he watched a ton of film. Like, he knows the routes almost. Like, he's very good. I love Kyrie Jackson. He's a first-round pick for me. Like I said, I have him over Kool-Aid because Kool-Aid's almost like a one-trick pony. Like, yeah, he's a great outside, forget about it, but he can't really be used anywhere else. He's a shitty tackler, and you can't use him on blitzes. And I would say Kyrie's a better athlete than Kool-Aid. So, Kyrie checks all the boxes for me to be a great outside corner, and you can use him in the slot if you really want to, but Kyrie Jackson, 22 here. Hopefully, he's another great Oregon corner.
All right, 23, we got the Houston Texans on the clock, and I'm keeping the Texas kid in Texas. Give me T'Vondre Sweat. I think this is honestly probably the best landing spot for him because Sheldon Rankins is a free agent, but they all do, like, Sheldon Rankins and Malik Collins are, like, good penetrating 3-techs, and T'Vondre Sweat is your just big old nose tackle. He can, don't get me wrong, he can rush the passer on third down.
Now listen, there were rumors at the Senior Bowl that he was pushing close to 400.
Yeah.
There were rumors.
Came in at like 365 though at the combine. Ran a 5.27, which it sounds bad, but when you account for his size, it's pretty good.
Like, I know people are saying like, "Oh, he's a loser of the I'm like, bro, he's 360 pounds, moving a 5.27. He ran he ran just as fast.
The only thing you're accounting for with him is the 10-yard split, and he doesn't even need it. It's like a 3-yard split. It's not like he's not moving like you nose. You're not moving too much.
He's just there to kind of create
during
a mess.
The play. But he's more than he can do.
He's more than just a nose.
He does all the nose tackle stuff. He's a great run defender. I mean, dude, like, you're gonna push this guy back, really?
No.
No. So, he sheds blocks very well. He's really good with his hands. He's great at two-gapping. Obviously, he's a big boy. He's got a nice bull rush. He's always working his hands and ripping. He's got a nice swim move. He always is trying to bat down passes, which is something that you love to see, especially from a nose where he might not get there on the pass rush because he's doubled. He can split doubles, though. He's really good at anchoring and absorbing double teams. He's got a very nice long arm. You leave this guy a one-on-one, he's going to crush the pocket.
It's over. Yep.
The only concern, I'm not concerned about it personally, but you hear everyone talk about his conditioning and stuff. Dude, he played at Texas. Like, you don't think they know what they're doing with his weight?
No, exactly.
I don't get that argument. I just like maybe he's not maybe he doesn't turn into like a consistent 3-down player. But
I think he
can
does.
crunch. I think he does. But I think he can still crunch the pocket if he's in on like 2nd and long.
Mm-hmm.
And
No,
you know what I mean?
Listen,
like
I loved the fact that he was just a wall. He's just a wall. He's a wall of a man. But like his pass rush really surprised me. Like his swim move, so fast.
It's because he's so good with his hands, dude.
His swim move, so fast. He was like boom, boom. I'm around
his long arm is disgusting too. Off the
he
ball
was
rush
super good.
Long arm.
He personally, for me, and it might change. I might go back and watch Byron. He personally is my interior defensive one. Listen, Byron and him are really close.
He's my 2.
Usually,
I have Byron Murphy.
Like they're so close. They actually might be like we'll say rankings wise, we'll put them at like 15 to 20 range. Oh, fucking again, top 15. But like they literally might be. They might be 16, 17, 18, 19. They might be back to back. Like they're super close.
Dude.
It's just what do you want more? And I think right now the Texans, I think they might just say, hey, let's clamp up the run, right, and just fill a hole.
Dude, if you were gonna make like it's crazy. I mean, I know Texas makes them different, but if you were gonna make a 3-tech in a lab, it would be Byron Murphy, and if you were gonna make a nose tackle in a lab, it would be T'Vondre Sweat. So they're a hell of a duo. Dude, how sick? Because I don't know if T'Vondre is. I think he's gonna be a 2nd-round pick. Yeah. I don't think he should be, but I think he will be. Can you imagine if somebody pairs them up together again?
It'd be crazy.
It would be absolutely wild. But T'Vondre Sweat, I think it's good value, and I think he's a really good player.
Okay, here at 24, you have the Dallas Cowboys here. Listen, we're going back-to-back Texas players. We're keeping the kid in Texas. He might be my favorite receiver prospect. Favorite, not best, favorite. I'm taking A.D. Mitchell out of Texas. I fucking love this kid.
You hear the excitement in this man's voice right now?
Listen.
Listen the fuck up.
Listen the fuck. I'm about to preach some shit here. All right, 6'4", 196, and he runs a 4.35 40. Ooh, he's blazing fast. He gets a ton of separation, blocks really well, ideal X receiver height. He's shifty in the open field, great route runner. Like he's CeeDee Lamb, and you're pairing him up with CeeDee Lamb.
And Michael Gallup.
Well, let's hope he doesn't blow his knee out before the fucking preseason.
Oh, wait. They still have Cooks, though, so.
Yeah, pretty sure he's 1
I
year.
forgot about him.
I don't care. Keeping the kid in Texas.
No, we don't kill him. No,
fuck.
No, Brandon Cooks does not stop me. Love you. Good job as a Patriot, but.
And thanks for looking out for that fucking safety, buddy.
Brandon
left
Cooks
a little
does
bit.
not stop me from drafting A.D. Mitchell.
No, A.D. Mitchell.
Legit. I was saying, like, you could, like, move off Gallup because you have Cooks.
Now,
not that.
Am I going to go as far as to say he's wide receiver 1 in 2022 and 2022 and 2023? Yes, I am.
Yeah,
he is so. Him being at 5 now, I might move him up to 4 by the time we get to the end of stuff. But right now he's at 5.
Wait, are you saying you take him? So So that's Garrett. And
yep.
I think that's too. I agree with last year. I think he's better than Zay. Okay. You're drinking the Kool-Aid, and I respect it.
I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I wrote down good. Like I said, really good speed. But the thing is, he's so smooth. It almost doesn't look like he's trying. It really doesn't.
Yelling right now.
I fucking love him. Amazing hands. Great jump ball ability. Like, I think against, what was it, at Washington, he was just like, just give me the fucking, throw it to me, and I'll fucking catch it. Next play, throw it up on a fade, tutty. He's a big game player. I think, he had he has a touchdown in every single playoff game.
Championship DNA.
He has that dog in him. Comes back to the ball. You sometimes see guys just wait for it. He goes back to it. High school coaches rejoice everywhere. Really good catch radius. Makes catches through big hits. He fights through contact for extra yards. I love him. Obviously, you can hear it in my voice. I'm slobbering all over it. I'm glazing him. Like, it's outrageous how much I love him. And you're keeping him in Texas. Jerry loves this sexy pick. I legit, though, could see him going very high. I could see him going higher than this. It's just we're not doing trades or anything. But, yeah, crush the combine. I really wanted him at 34. That's just not going to happen now. Unless we move up into the first, it's not happening. But I'm okay with Xavier Legette. But A.D. Mitchell here. What else can I say? I love him.
All right, 25. We got the Packers on the clock. I'm going with my guy, Cam Hart from Notre Dame. Is there bias involved? Maybe a little bit. But he's really, really good. He's 6'2", 207. He's big. He can run. He ran a 4.5. He's athletic. He was a stud at the Senior Bowl. That's where I had seen him play because, I watched the Notre Dame games. But 6'2", big corner. He's got really good arm length. He's great in press. That's what his game is. You get Jair and him one side, Eric Stokes if he can stay healthy in the slot. They had some guys that could play in the slot though, Ballantyne and Valentine, the rhyme duo themselves. But I love, this Cam Hart's a guy. This guy held Marvin Harrison Jr. to 3 catches for 30 yards.
Actually,
or less.
It was less. I'll bring up the facts. Marvin Harrison Jr. on Cam Hart was targeted or went together 16 reps, I think it was. I think it was 3 targets, 0 catches, 1 target. That's what.
You're telling me this guy can't play?
You're
telling me he's a 3rd round pick? Mock draft simulators?
Fuck
Come on.
you, mock draft simulators.
Come on.
He legit clamps. He held him.
He can play zone 2. He can play off, but I want him in press. I think he breaks on the ball pretty well. I think he has solid ball skills. He's athletic enough. I think he's smart. It seems like everybody in Notre Dame loves him. The way his coach was talking about him at the combine, he was basically he gave him a lot of props for leading that defense. And
listen,
what else do you want?
He's super physical.
What else do you want? A big physical press corner who is athletic,
who can hang with the best receiver,
and who's a really good tackler. There's not much to complain about with Cam Hart.
26, Tampa, I'm taking edge rusher Marshawn Kneeland from Western Michigan. He's 6'3", 276. Great punch. Gets to the pads very quickly. Clamps in the run game. Fills the gap really well. Amazing power. Gets pressure. Gets his hand up to bat the ball down a ton. Great dip and rip. Really nice swim move. Has a really good inside counter spin, which I'd love to see. He gets held a lot. I saw a lot of holding calls not get called. I saw a lot of hands go over here. I saw him get held quite a bit.
His bull rush is crazy.
Yeah. Bull rush, like Martin just said, nuts. He beats double teams consistently. He's beats them pretty consistently. He's a really good tackler. He gets a lot of pressure, a ton. He might not get credited with a pressure, but he makes that quarterback move out of the pocket quickly. Gets off blockers to make tackles, so his block strength really well. Pushes the tackle into the QB's lap pretty constantly. You got Olu Fashanu out there. He gets backed up. And then my only negative really with him is he gets a late jump sometimes. That's about it. I almost saw him as a better, DeMarcus Robinson? Is that the Mizzou guy? Darius Robinson. He was more of the Keon White that I saw, but Kneeland wasn't really that far off with all the power and shit. But overall, Kneeland, super, super good. I see a lot of people sleeping on him. I think he's an easy first-round talent guy. I'm gonna take him over Trice here, which I haven't done, but when you see the board, sometimes you feel differently in the moment about a guy. And Marshawn Kneeland, I think, he's everything. Like Martin said, he's everything Braylon Trice. Martin thought Braylon Trice was. Marshawn Kneeland is him right now. So, yeah. No, I know Western Michigan might scare you guys, but he's fucking good.
It's both of our rule of thumbs, but if you play low competition, you gotta dominate.
He does.
You watch this guy's film, it's unbelievable. It is domination. So when you do that, I don't really care where you play.
That's the rule of thumb.
All right, 27 for the Cardinals. I'm taking Braylon Trice from Washington. This is where he comes off the board. Listed at 6'4", 273. Came into the combine at 245. What I'm hoping is, like Joe said earlier, is he was just trying to cut to get his testing numbers down.
Way too serious.
Yeah.
It's like when you take the bulk too serious and then you look in the mirror one day and you're 250. I think he spent a little too much time in the sauna in the Adidas tracksuit.
I think since we're talking about that, it's best to just start off with. Obviously, I'm concerned about the weight, but my problem with that is he's not that bendy, and I was fine with that totally
Because
fine
he was
with it.
276.
Assuming he was 270, because he was either like a big as hell stand-up edge rusher, or he was a hand-in-the-dirt guy. But now I'm like, you're a stand-up guy, but like you're the Dallas Turner role, and you weigh the same as him, but you have none of the juice that he does.
When's Washington's pro day?
That's a good question.
Because
I don't know.
For him, I'd fucking
Yeah. Oh, I'll be watching the pro
I'd
day.
fucking
Yeah, yeah.
eat.
But
because you got your time.
yeah,
for
yeah.
shit, just
But at a certain point, man, like it just has to be about tape. And I had Braylon Trice as my edge too, just off tape. It was close between him and Latu, but I liked him a decent bit more than Dallas Turner. Not like crazy. But he's very good at timing the snap. He gets some crazy jumps. This is the thing. If he played at 245, he has stupid power for 245 pounds.
that is ridiculous.
So that's where I'm like, I think I could end up being okay with it. It's just the lack of Ben scares me.
I think it's either, like, what's more, he has ungodly power for his size, or he tried to get his times up.
Yeah.
I think you just weigh the side of... He just cut a little too much.
I think that's what it is, because I don't think someone at 245 has this kind of power. I don't think...
If you... Now, maybe you don't watch... If you watch that playoff game against Texas, he was constantly in the backfield.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's bull rush is terrifying. Doubled consistently. I believe he led the nation in pressures.
I think he did.
Really good spin move as well. He never stops working his hands. He's got a cross chop as well. He can rush outside. It's just not his bread and butter, but he can do it. He's really good on stunts. He's probably the best out of probably anyone except Nealand. Nealand might be the best on stunts, just with his pure power out of... Because that's what a stunt is when you go around, it just turns into a bull rush. It's not about, like...
Oh, fuck,
like,
where's my guy?
Yeah,
oh, shit, there he is.
You don't send Latu on that because
No.
he's a speed rusher. You want him working to the outside, but you want to get a mismatch on a guard who doesn't anchor that as well. So that's the plan there. Like I said, the bend is the only thing that I'm a little concerned about. I was cool with it, with his size, but now that I'm not sure about the size, that's my concern. But he's a good run defender, and the tape doesn't lie with Braylon Trice. I still think even if he is 245, he's an easy first for me. He's just not going to be that edge 2 I thought he was, but he's still a really good player, man.
Okay, 28 Buffalo. I see a lot of people going receiver here. Now, I don't disagree with that. But after the...
I mean, me and you have probably both done that in every
single
mock until this.
Until this one. Because of the French Revolution-esque execution style, their whole secondary just went on. Now, runner-up and comeback player of the year, DeMar Hamlin, that fucker is not good enough. The only reason he didn't get cut was PR. I guarantee it. So, to make sure he doesn't get his ass on the field whatsoever in... One, either become a PR disaster, or two, get on the field for a fake punt, because I think this guy could run it way better. I'm taking Tyler Nubin out of Minnesota here. Cut Poyer, Hyde's gone, like Trayvon, or Tre'Davious White.
They cut the other safety too, Neil.
Yeah. Yep, they cut everybody. Yeah. Everyone's gone.
They don't have any
You actually now have a bigger need than wide receiver, because as of right now, Stephon Diggs is still on the team. So, I'm going by that. Tyler Nubin, big hitter, great in zone coverage, blitzes really well, amazing tackler, just flies to the ball. He's a heat-seeking missile. Fun fact, my uncle's brother, he works as a Minnesota strength coach, so he's super high.
Oh, yeah, I had no idea.
He's, or I shouldn't say he's not my uncle, but he's like uncle type.
Yeah.
He's my uncle's like best friend, so I see him all the time. But he's like this kid can fucking play. So of course it's his own guy. He's gonna hype him up.
Yeah.
But listen, he's not scared to hit.
It's him.
Unlike another safety, he's not scared to hit. A really good job in run
They
support.
won't actually. We should just call him out now because I'll tell you right now, I'm not taking him in the third round.
No, Caden Bullock.
He's not going at all.
You
Kalen
fucking
Bullock from
pussy.
USC. I think
Yes, UFC.
I don't know if he could tackle me.
Did UFC just build pussies?
Yeah. I don't know if Kalen Bullock could tackle me.
No, I don't think so.
Like
legit, like he
it's
wouldn't
bad.
attempt to.
Yeah.
Not scared to hit. Great speed. Did he run at the 40? I don't think he did.
I'm not sure.
but he's always involved on tackles, no matter what. I don't care. He'll go in and punch a pile late, but he's always involved. He always wants that chance of getting that 0.5 of a tackle. But really good speed. In coverage, he's really good. He runs hip to hips, and then he reads the QB's eyes and jumps routes. I'm pretty sure he did that against... Who the fuck was it? He had 2 interceptions
He had
in a
2
game.
picks. I forget what game it was.
I forget what game it was, but he jumped one of them. One of them was over the middle, shit throw. But one of them, he legit just jumped the route, and he flew. But Tyler Nubin, 6'2", 210. You don't have anybody left. Last year we had them taking safety too with Antonio Johnson a lot.
The receiver class is deep too. Like
exactly.
You can get a good number 2 in round 2.
Like you could trade up maybe if you want a Worthy or someone like that. Don't count speed twice, guys. But Tyler Nubin, just really unique after what just happened. After I'm trying to find the word for it. Let's just call massacre that your secondary and defense just went on. I think you need a lot of defensive help here. So Tyler Nubin, best safety in the class.
At Lions at 29, I'm taking Johnny Newton out of Illinois. I just looked up the Lions. Aleem McNeil is a beast. Levi Onwuzurike hasn't really worked out yet. Broderick Martin's your nose. I mean, I don't know if they want to replace Onwuzurike, but Johnny Newton plays his role, and he does it probably a hell of a lot better. I liked Onwuzurike coming out of Washington, but it doesn't really seem like it's worked out. He's 6'2", 295, 3-tech. He's very good. Really fallen a lot. And it's nothing against him, man. It's just other dudes are better.
Yeah,
across all positions. Like, it is what it is.
It's, like again, like, when we, like, with him being a nose, an interior guy, unless he's, like, stand out like a Sweat, Byron, Murphy, like, when we have...
I think he is standout-ish.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's in... I don't think he's, like, nearly as good as Byron Murphy.
Well, with this DB class being so deep, tackles going really high, wide receiver, of course, QBs early, edge being really good.
Yeah, and it's the run defense. We can start off with that, because that's where, like, Byron Murphy is a good run defender. Johnny Newton is okay.
Mm-hmm. He needs to work on it.
Yeah, like... single team, he's decent. Double team, oh god, he needs to anchor a lot better. He gets absolutely washed by double teams, which is not what you like to see from that. But it's not as bad when you're a 3-tech versus a nose. He does have violent hands, though. He's got a good bull rush when he decides to use it. He really doesn't that much. He's more of just like a swim move, rip through guy. He's constantly hand fighting, though, which you like to see. Illinois played him a lot at 5-tech, which is not something I can really get behind. I think he's a 3. I don't really think he's quick, but I don't think he's athletic enough to be a 5. I think that was kind of just a dumb thing they did in their defense. But he's a high-effort player. He'll throw 3 different moves at you in a rep. I think Johnny Newton is just a good interior pass rusher, which is a valuable skill set. But I'm not sure. His run defense is a little bit of a problem. And I care a lot about run defense, but I think the Lions, this is a good fit because they have guys who are good run defenders, so they're just relying on him to be a pass rusher. And I think it's a different form of a luxury pick, but I think it is a luxury pick, and it's a good one at that because this is a skill set they need, and they already have guys to fill the other roles, and you can get like a Tyler Davis in round 3 as another D-tackle to pair with him and kind of just platoon it and have him as like your 3-tech run defender if you really want to. Like the Bears did that last year with Gervon Dexter, and I think it was Zach Pickens was the pass rusher who was like a horrific run defender. Dexter could do both. And that worked out well for them. I think it's a solid strategy to just kind of platoon it. And the pass rusher is going to go higher. That's how it works. And I'm cool with Johnny Newton here. I think it's a good pick.
Baltimore here at 30. They're an interesting team here. I think they can take a lot of positions here. I could go wide receiver, but I don't think that's the answer to all your problems. They had a really good year last year. Mark Andrews kind of went down for the whole year. You might re-sign OBJ. might not. You might go out and get like a Gabe Davis. They still believe in Rashad Bateman.
They could be
He's
like a
good
nice
free.
Tyler Boyd
Yeah,
spot, steal him from a division rival.
But I think you're going with Darius Robinson out of Mizzou here. Unbelievable power, can rush from the outside and on the inside. Great bull rush, creates pressure when he doesn't get to the QB. Really good rip move, disgusting swim move. Pushes the tackle back into QB's lap. He's 6'5", 295, by the way. Should mention that. Really good in the run defense. I saw him lift tackles off their feet. I saw them act like he lifted them off their feet. He got a ton of QB hits. He was just relentless. When I watched this guy, I was sitting at the dining room table. I texted Martin. I was like, yeah, Keon White. Found him. Found another Keon White. And Keon White last year was top 15 for us.
He's not the athlete.
He's not the athlete that Keon White is, but overall, like,
but from
inside,
a power
outside,
perspective and versatility, yeah.
he's Keon White. But yeah, I really like him. I was debating between him and Xavier Legette here. I don't know. I think they could take a luxury pick, but I also don't think they should. I think you got to get deeper than let's take another receiver. Plus, the receiver class is super deep. Like, you could legit, the NFL seems to be low on Troy Franklin. You could probably trade a mid-second for Troy Franklin and be fine with it. But Darius Robinson here out of Mizzou, love the pick. He just seems like a Raven.
31, you got the Niners on the clock. I'm throwing a curveball, dude. Kool-Aid, I'm sorry.
Oh, no!
I thought of this like 15 seconds ago.
Uh-oh.
I love this. This is a player I don't think you like realize how high I am on it. But at 31, I'm taking Adisa Isaac from Penn State.
Whoa! I haven't. Yeah, I don't think you said his name once.
Yeah, dude. He's my edge 7, but dude, I think he's and it's funny too because I was finishing up Ladarius Henderson earlier versus Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
That Michigan-Penn State game, dude. This guy is everywhere. But I think, dude, he's so much better than Schaub. It's not even funny. But I don't think they're going to re-sign. Obviously, if you re-sign Chase Young, then this doesn't apply. But I don't think they're going to. I mean, they're going to get a third comp pick back for it.
There's going to be a team.
Somebody's going to pay for Chase Young.
Someone's going to overpay.
Yeah. So, I think, like, they value their D-line. And what it came down to, man, is we're doing a 3-rounder. How you draft as a GM is stacks, right? I'll get to him as a player in a sec. I would much rather have Adisa Isaac and insert back end of the second round corner here than Kool-Aid and dude, I don't even know who would be there at edge at 64 because Mo Kamara's my next guy. I'm probably taking him before 64. There are only 8 edges in this class that I've watched, I think 11. There's only 8 that I think are actually good.
Mm-hmm.
And we took 6 already. He's 7. We've taken a lot early. So I think if you're the Niners, I don't think this is a reach either. I think he's worth this pick. But I think it's just about stacking. There are plenty of corners that I like. Somebody will be there at 62 or whatever the pick is to end it. But as far as Adisa Isaac, he's 6'4", 250, great size. He's a great run defender, dude. Really good against the run, disciplined. What was hilarious is just he gets the running back every time, no matter who has the ball. Mm-hmm. But I think that's just more of a coaching thing. But he's
it's like JT.
Yeah, he's really disciplined. He's super physical, very stout at the point of attack. He's explosive as hell out of his stance. He sprints like a bat out of hell towards the ball. He's a really good athlete, great motor. He can cover as an outside backer a little bit, similar to Dallas Turner. He's got a very nice bull rush. He's phenomenal on stunts. Really good edge. He's got solid bend. I love guys like this who are just a really good run defender with a big time power profile who can use their hands. Like, he has bend too, but he's just a really good football player. Mm-hmm. And really good football players turn into, shockingly, really good football players at the NFL level, and they go high in the draft. And I think Adisa Isaac is that guy. I think he's just very good. He's got a nice spin counter as well. He can rip and dip a little bit. I think he's just a good player, and the Niners are a D-line factory, and if he ends up here, he's going to have a very good career.
Here, the Kansas City Chiefs, big shocker, it's a wide receiver. Now, I think there's a ton of guys you could go with. I'm not that high on Keon Coleman. I'm going to rewatch him.
I like Keon.
He likes Keon. I just think you already have your ex receiver. I think you have him, and I think it's Rashee Rice. And listen, there's a little bit of snow coming to Kansas City with this pick. It's snowing. Patrick Mahomes is going. Ladd McConkey out of Georgia.
Oh, buddy.
Listen, I know. Let's get all this. Listen, you can't even say sneaky athletic anymore.
No,
He's just
he ran a
fucking
4.39.
athlete.
He's just
He
athletic.
ran a 4.39. He is athletic. Listen, I took a little break from him, and then after the combine, I'm right back. We're in a good relationship now. We cheated on each other for a little bit.
You cheated on him with Ricky Pearsall.
I cheated on him with Ricky Pearsall, who I do think could actually be Cooper Kupp, so stay tuned for that one. But Ladd McConkey, he's elite after the catch. Super shifty, amazing hands, great speed. He blocks well, of course he does. Great feet, elite route running, sits in zone. Like, what else do you want me to say about this guy? He's really good. I have him going really high. Just because, like I think Leggett and Rice are super similar, and Leggett is my higher receiver on the board, but it's almost like, do you want two of the same guy? Like, I think we saw, Leggett had really good speed, but I don't know if he's that elite separator that Ladd McConkey is. And
No,
I
I
think
get that.
you need a guy, and I think he's the best guy, obviously not Keon for separation.
I would take Keon Coleman at this pick, personally.
I know you would.
No, I have Leggett ranked higher,
Yeah.
but I agree with you about how him and Rashee are pretty similar players, but I think Rashee could be could absolutely play Z.
No,
and
yeah,
I have Keon at X, so. But I definitely, what you're saying is absolutely valid.
Great route tree, amazing separation, positions himself really well. He can make jump ball catches. I'm pretty sure he's 6 foot, maybe a little taller than 6 foot, but it's like 6 foot, like 3/4, whatever. It's minimal. I do think he can play outside if you really want to, but I think he cooks in the slot. He's just a demon. He's like Wes Welker in the slot. Fucking Patriots comp right there. Breaks tackles, finds a soft spot in zone. He, like I said, he's just really, really good. Maybe some of you want Keon here, but I just don't think it's the right fit. I think Ladd McConkey is your 5-yard. You don't have that guy. I don't think you have your 5-yard out route, when in doubt, corner route type guy. And Ladd McConkey will be the answer to that. So I love Ladd here, and he's gonna wrap up pick 32 of the first round.